All right, so now I'm starting to get pretty cold. And obviously I'm doing this with the most conscious, consciousness in mind. I'm not putting myself in any danger, mind you. But as you can tell, my hands, especially my fingers, are starting to get pretty red. And a couple tricks that I've learned, obviously, putting gloves on, putting glove liners, anything to protect your hands from the environment is going to be the best. Putting them in your pockets, putting them actually in between your thighs if you're sitting down. Those are all things that are going to help warm up your hands. Literally just putting them in between my thigh at the moment is really helping. But one trick I learned back in the Man vs. Wild days, but basically what you do is take my arm, I'm gonna spin it. Basically what it feels very weird, but what you're doing is obviously my hand is like super red now, but it's rushing a bunch of warm blood to your hand. Basically what's happening is your capillaries are constricting and your veins are constricting because it's trying to keep your core warm, and so it's making your hands basically purposefully get colder. So that actually is warming up my hands just by doing that. If you have gloves or mittens on, obviously I have a pair right here. Now let's say I have gloves or mittens on and my hands are still cold. It's just not enough to warm them up. Basically the same thing goes for your feet. If your feet are cold, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're freezing, there's a few things that you could do to warm yourself back up. Now, one of them is going to be, if your hands are cold, do push-ups. That's going to work the large muscle groups in your chest and your shoulders and your arms. And basically what that's going to do is help a lot of blood flow to that area because that's the area that's working. If your feet are cold, do squats, like air squats. Basically what that's going to do, the large muscle groups in your butt and your thighs is going to start firing, even your calves, and that's going to help move blood further to that area. If you're in your sleeping bag and you really don't want to get out, let's say it's conditions like this out and you don't want to get outside to do air squats, or you could do sit-ups in your actual bag. And even though it's not the best exercise to do, it's getting you moving and it's getting a little extra body heat generated, because now you're working. Your body's no longer sitting there. So if your hands are cold, swing them around for a second. If you have gloves or something like that, you can put your hands on the ground, do push-ups. If your feet are cold, do air squats, do like march in place, or if you're in your sleeping bag, do sit-ups. I hope these tips help you, and I will see you guys next time.